It's an appropriate way to start on Indian Trace. I'm going to take 1 minute because there's a couple new people asked a question about this koi pond. Some of you veterans know very well what you're looking at. Veterans on Indian Trace, that is. But for those of you who are new out there, and I mentioned C4 artifacts, look very closely along the outside edge here as I go around. 800-900 rhyolites, quartz pieces. 1 minute because I want to show you what exactly I do with this perfect natural light, and when I make a comment that many people are familiar with called moving day. And that does your minute about. As a matter of fact, all of it is ready for boxes. I gotta keep it moving. Those hammerstones need a home. Take a look at those. Unbelievable. And because I don't have an inside case, these are my top pile. Good stuff, right? Now, check this out. Give me T-1 as we get in here. Richard, I think Richard's rock house, we're all familiar with his backyard. Or front yard, I don't know which one it is, right? Anyway, so I can't be too anal about walking around the yard or making videos. Incredible natural light out here. And like I said, the way I've made sense and tried to keep organized the 850 or so artifacts that I like to keep on my watch, because I'm always looking to keep it moving, which is why you hear me say things like moving day. But this will give some of the new people out there an idea if they want to figure out a way to keep things organized. When I first started collecting, I had a little bowl, and I said, you know, this little bowl is where I'll keep my artifacts. Well, sure enough, a bowl about the size of a cereal bowl, it was over with. It was over with real quick. So I needed to move forward and try to figure out a way that I could keep them secure, and that I could make a what I consider a highly valuable collection disappear if I wasn't here, where I could either bring it with me or I could find a good place to bury it. But the reason why I wanted to do this video, you know what I like here? Check this out. This long, those of you who fish are familiar with tackle box. This 7-tray tackle box is where I keep all my Guilfords. Sound of the afternoon here, and just give a little bit of a look at the tackle box. Somebody wants to relax a little bit in some crystal, some what I call secondary quartz, 1 row down, but it's all in my, if it stays or lives in my display box, it's pretty much top quality by every stretch of the imagination. If it makes the cut and to moving day where I get to move it out here, that's a good day for the artifact. Now, you know, you just have the artifacts that you find, they take a life of their own. Look at that group of old Marl Mountains right there. Savannah Rivers, I guess, what have you. Craziness, right? This natural light. I don't get to see it all the time where I have these in my closet or what have you. Attic somewhere. Gracious. But look at this. This is what we saw on moving day the other day, where I said I'm going to move these out and they're going to find a place in my box. So I'll show you how it all works. as we get moving here. I consider a piece the way it works with me, and I know where I keep things. Like, here's some really big, heavy-duty quartz pieces, and it moves around, and there's always a whole lot more room than you actually looks like, whether it's in the back or whether it's somewhere else. And so I just always consider where I want pieces that have become my favorites. And listen, you hear that sound, and at the same time, I have never found a flake, never found a chip, never broken a point, and I know what's below all these for things to, you know, find a favorite place when it comes to heavy-duty quartz. And if I don't like it too much, I'll take them out and I'll look around and I'll consider pieces that are in there and where they need to live in terms of heavy-duty stuff. This is dirty quartz from the clay pot, a blade, I know that's for sure. Unbelievable opportunity just to keep this safe for now. But I know where I need to keep a lot of artifacts. Like that blade. See, this is the same dirty quartz from the same place. See those? You'd say the same stock of stone, right? Not this strawberry quartz tip. Not this. That came from Deer Passage. But these two, I'll take a little extra time here. Small handful, just doing something fun. Now it's giving me a real problem. And I have not yet figured out what all is going on with the inclusions of the stone, excuse me. In this blade. For those two pieces. Enough. Anyway, this piece here in my hand is what I would interpret dirty quartz as well, and it came from the same site, the clay pot. Clay pot has a bunch of this quartz that has what I would call inclusions in it. I'd like a geologist to tell me what causes all that someday. But those are big heavy-duty points in there. It's a good place for it. Yeah, look at this. Place for real small smokers. That's easy because my small quartz tips, there must be 25, 30 of them in there, and there's always a really great place for them to live. I mean, there's smokers in there of every variety. And if they get a little bit bigger, I've got another place for them as well. But on a moving day, I just go in and I reorganize this box a little bit, and they all have a place, a home usually, a landing place, a safe harbor. And I have to stay light-minded because it can get overwhelming. So I figured I'd invite some people if they want to hang out, Frank or whoever, and just see some great artifacts and how I work with it. Because I pull them out of here too. When somebody has a special request or they really want an artifact of a certain type, this scraper under my thumb is a really great piece. There's a stack, they call it, right there, but you can tell how this was held and how it was used. I like scrapers like that. This one here in sugar quartz is nothing to shake a stick at either. Sugar quartz one's an easy place to find. Next to my gorgets up there, I've got a bunch of great little scrapers in there. You see the quartz one and that. I just dropped it in there, and there's a piece of soapstone down there. I keep eccentric pieces, and unique pieces and little scrapers up here, as well as it's a great place for my drills. That's how it works, you know. In the bigger scrapers that I don't want to let go yet, or just find a place in my heart, which can happen pretty easily, I always got a place for those scrapers down there. And blades. Mercy. Now, I know exactly where these go, which is a great marl mountain. So I've got a bunch of them right there. That's how moving day works. And it's fine with me because I always know where my stock is at and where things go, and I know all the pieces in it and what quality, what place they're at. And sure, it looks full, and it is a full collection, but there's a lot of room to move, room to change positions around. Natural stone and natural light's just absolutely good to look at. Sure, they're artifacts and they speak for a great race of people, but that's all sugar quartz in there. Staggering what they did with sugar quartz. It's a completely unique and different kind of find around here. Alright. Moving day. These are great points. The long necks. Unique. You find them every once in a while in here. I've got a whole bunch of them here. What I call long necks. See? That's the stem. No doubt about it. Particular and unique. So as things shift around, they filter in there and they have their place, as you can see. And they're not sticking out the top either. There's a lot of room because these are all, you know, at least an inch deep, holding many points in there. A lot of different room and capacity. It's not half as loud as it sounds. That's where they sleep for now. Now, Frank, what should we do with those? Move them on, right? I know where they have to go. I mean, when it comes to quartz Guilfords, that's big, so I don't think I'm going to put it in my small bin because finding quartz is not that common. Out of 850, I have about 4 quartz Guilfords. I've got a couple big ones over here, under here, and I'm going to have to give them. I know what they look like. I know where they're at. But I know exactly what style that piece that I just put in there is. There's a lot of room. A lot of room. So we keep things moving. And we keep saving things out there. Doing the best we can. Look at that piece. Stone Mountain. It's a slammer. It's a slammer. And that's where that goes. But then there is this, and it'll go in the same place. What kind of point is that? Crosslands point. I often, if somebody has a desire to buy quality quartz points, usually they come out of here. But some in there I like so much that I just I won't sell them. It's just a good place to keep them when they're sort of mid-drift. What that means is that I mean, they're really great quality and great pieces that I found, but I might, whoops, sorry about the finger, I might not be as attached. Now, I am attached to a lot of them. Like, for example, this from the garden. Love that base. Just so unique. Such a unique point. Look at how long the video is. I can't even believe it. So I won't give them. But on the top shelf, what I call top shelf, is all the bins across the top, which tend to hold just incredible artifacts that I found. Humbling. Oh, I forgot. Look at how long the video is. I almost forgot to move these. So on a moving day, I might take 15, 20 minutes and just relax and move them on. Mercy. That was a great Guilford save from Crystal Beach. Guilford Yuma. I knew just where there was room for it too. And these down there are Guilfords. Not unlike these. I mean, these are absolute Smoke City Guilfords. Down here in Rhyolite and Big. These are a little bit different. Down here. Quite a few Guilford varieties. You can see the base of that Guilford Yuma. But I know where there's places for different Guilfords to live. When I found them, why they appeal to me. It's good stuff. Whoops, sorry. That's a Guilford there. I mean, you can see these. It's from Crosslands. That's Rhyolite you're looking at, everybody. Anyway, let's put those there. Then there's this serrated piece to finish the move. Well, if you had the patience to watch all this, you just absolutely love North American Indian artifacts. It's certainly not me. That's for sure. Now, this piece, I have a place for it because this whole section here and the two rows here have a lot of places for these. And they're all particularly unique to style or variation. Different colored, the pinks, variated material in there, you can see that. Some notch with variated materials. A little bit of the triangles right there. Cortex points right there. It's good stuff. But moving day is moving day. You got to find a good place for it all. And whatever sort of appeals to it, appeals to my heart, that's where it's got to rest. Because sure as you live, there'll be more to come in. Hear the sound of a neighborhood, people cleaning up their yards and mowing, or companies. Well, I'm sure anybody that wants, who's not real interested in some artifacts like these, can click it and turn it off anytime they want, but I just wanted to do my best to show you how moving day works and a little admiration for the North American Indian and what I find. It's fun stuff. Found that recently at the edge. Really unique point. Mercy. That came from Beaver Point. That came from Opening Sands. That came from the clay pot. Usually I'll know right away. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope you find out there.